Charleston, South Carolina has been one of the fastest growing cities in the United States for a while now because it has a great job opportunities, low taxes, historic charm, and incredible beaches. It's very diverse in terms of its cities and suburbs, so it caters to a wide range of people. The job market here has been exploding thanks to major employers investing in the area like Boeing and Google. If you're ready to make the move, then I'm going to tell you the top places I would live if I were moving here in 2025. So let's dive right in. For starters, I think the best place to live really depends on your lifestyle, budget, and personal priorities. A young professional is going to value different things compared to a person who's married with kids. Luckily, all of the different areas around Charleston offer a ton of diversity, so you won't have to sacrifice too much on the things you want. Or you might not have to sacrifice anything at all if you have the budget for it. For those of you on a budget, you are likely going to have to give or take a little, but you will still have plenty of opportunities. I bring this up because if you've been watching my videos, then you'll know traffic has been a hot topic. With fast growth comes growing pains, and to be honest, I don't know a single person who enjoys sitting in traffic. Factors like when you work, and where your kids go to school are going to be important things to consider. I think the best way to break down this video is to organize it into the best places to live for families and also the best places for young professionals and city lovers. I'm going to create a part 2 of this video to talk about the more affordable places to live in areas with the highest growth potential, so make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss it. For those of you with families, the best places I think that you want to consider in 2025 are going to be Mount Pleasant, Hanahan, or Summerville. The reason I picked these cities is because they have some awesome schools and they have great neighborhoods. Mount Pleasant is known for having some of the best schools in the entire metro, but it does come at a price. It's the most expensive city out of the 3, and with the tremendous growth that's occurred over the past few years, prices are not going to decline anytime soon. Mount P is a great option for those of you who want to live in nicer neighborhoods and enjoy the slower pace of life, but still have access to great restaurant, shopping, and nightlife options. It's a bigger city, and with close proximity to downtown Charleston, it's easy to go out and do stuff. In fact, it's gotten so big that it can be divided into 2 different areas called North Mount Pleasant and South Mount Pleasant, with the divider being the Isle of Palms connector. It's so big that it has 2 separate zip codes. The south side is more expensive than the north side because it's closer to downtown Charleston and has already been built out. So if you're looking for a more affordable place to live in Mount Pleasant, then I'd recommend looking on the north side. Regardless of which side you choose, the city has a more upscale feel. It's a safe place to live, and that's why it's popular with a lot of families. A lot of neighborhoods have great amenities like the community pools and playgrounds that kids love. The city is right next to 2 of the most popular beaches in Charleston, which are Isle of Palms and Sullivan's Island Beach. On top of all these perks, Mount P has great schools. Some of the most popular ones for elementary kids are Mount Pleasant Academy, Bell Hall Elementary, and Carolina Park Elementary. For middle schools, the Thomas C. Cairo and the Moultrie Middle Schools are great options. And for high schools, both Oceanside Collegiate Academy and Wando High School have great reviews. These schools are all located in the north and south parts of Mount Pleasant, so no matter where you live, your kids will get a great education. School rankings do change every year, so make sure you check out niche.com or greatschools.org before enrolling your kids. Now let's talk about home prices really quick. The median sales price for a single-family home in South Mount Pleasant was $1.1 million, and for townhomes or condos, it was $587,000 as of the time I made this video. In North Mount Pleasant, the median sales price was $902,000, and townhomes or condos was around $592,000. Now, if these home prices are a bit out of your price range, then the next areas I would consider are Summerville or Hanahan, depending on where you work. Both of these cities are further north in the metro, but they are great spots for those who enjoy a slower pace of life in the suburbs. Out of the 2, Summerville by far has the most inventory of affordable homes. The west side of Summerville is in the Dorchester District 2 district, which has some of the highest rated schools in all of Charleston and indeed South Carolina. Another thing that makes Summerville stand out is that it's home to award-winning master plan communities like Nexton, Cane Bay, and Carnes Crossroads. Not only do these communities have nice amenities like pools and fitness centers, they are a great place to find affordable, high-quality homes. I do think it's important to mention that these master plan communities are not in the DD2 school district despite being in Summerville, but have their own highly ranked schools within Berkeley County School District. If getting into DD2 is a top priority, then we should probably consider looking at neighborhoods like White Gables or Summers Corner. But if you want to live in a master plan community that has all the bells and whistles with good schools, then Nexton, Cane Bay, and Carnes Crossroads are great options. It really just comes down to your personal preference. I'm not going to cover all the schools in Summerville, but if you want to learn more about them, don't hesitate to reach out. For home prices, the median sales price for a single-family home in Summerville was around $406,000. For a townhome or condo, it was around $299,000. And shifting gears a little bit, let's talk about Hanahan, South Carolina. Out of the 3 cities, Hanahan is the smallest population-wise. It's often called the forgotten city of Charleston because it's tucked in its own little green space just east of I-26 and Rivers Avenue. Most people don't go to Hanahan unless they have a reason to. There's not even a good way to cut through the city, it's just not convenient. Hanahan has a quieter feel to it with a lot of trees and land, so it's a good spot to find homes with some privacy. There isn't a ton of development happening out there, and this isn't going to be changing anytime soon. I actually reviewed Hanahan's comprehensive plan, and I'll tell you, most of the future land use is going to be used for conservation and recreation, and then followed by low-density neighborhoods. While this area is poised for development, the community wants Hanahan to retain that small-town feel, but improve the quality of shops, restaurants, and things to do in its main commercial hubs. Hanahan is right next to the Goose Creek Reservoir and the Cooper River, so it's a great spot if you and your family like spending time outdoors. For popular neighborhoods, I would check out Tanner Plantation and Bowen Village. They both have great home options at affordable pricing. For schools, Howell Hall, Ames Elementary, Hanahan Middle School, and Hanahan High School all have good reviews. For home prices, they are pretty aligned with Summerville, but usually a little bit more expensive. For single-family homes, the median sales price was $425,000. And now do keep in mind that Hanahan has a whole lot of older homes, so even though that the median sales price for single-family homes in Hanahan and Summerville is kind of similar, in Summerville, it's mostly newer, open floor plan, modern homes. In Hanahan, you have a lot of older 1950s and 1960s ranch homes that are skewing that number a little bit. If you want nicer, newer homes, you're probably going to be in the $500,000 to $600,000 in Hanahan. Now, also, Hanahan doesn't have a lot of good townhome or condo options, so it's mostly single-family homes. But that's not to say there aren't any townhomes or condos in Hanahan. Now that I've covered the best places for families, let's talk about the best places to live for young professionals and city lovers. For those of you who want a more exciting nightlife with a ton of restaurants, bars, and endless things to do, then I would consider looking at downtown Charleston, Park Circle, or Mount Pleasant near Shem Creek. Downtown Charleston is going to be the most expensive place to live, but you're right in the thick of everything. Downtown is like living in a museum full of history, but with modern conveniences. It's home to an incredible historic district with houses that were built over 200 years ago. Some of the homes are huge mansions that feature elegant architecture from the Federal, Georgian, and Greek Revival styles. There is a city market on Market Street that's over 180 years old, and from March to December, the market opens at night from 6:30 to 10:30. There are a ton of unique parks and museums that are fun to explore, and a great aquarium as well. On top of all of this, Charleston consistently ranks high on the top 10 cities for the food in the United States thanks to its world-class restaurants. For you nightlife lovers, there are a ton of great bars with fun music. Trio, Ritual, and the Blind Tiger and Peacock are some of the popular spots I would check out. I should mention that because downtown is so popular, it fetches a premium on price. So home purchases, especially for first-time home buyers, are typically going to look like a condo or a very, very, very small townhome. Another great spot for fast-paced lifestyle is Park Circle in North Charleston, with the added benefit that it's more affordable than downtown Charleston. While this area technically isn't the downtown portion of the North Charleston as we know it, it's become one of the hottest spots in all of the Charleston Metro. Park Circle has a great central location, so it doesn't take you long to get anywhere you want to the Metro. For example, it's only a 15-minute drive to downtown Charleston. Park Circle has undergone significant revitalization over the past decade. This gentrification has brought a ton of business to the area, especially on the east side. If you follow East Montague Avenue, you will end up on the main business district with a ton of great bar and restaurant options. Park Circle itself, not just its commercial district, is a hotspot because there's a lot of green space for picnics, an 18-hole disc golf course, and the world's largest inclusive playground. There's a pavilion here as well that hosts farmers markets, and one of the most popular parks in Charleston is Riverfront Park, and it's literally right next to Park Circle. A ton of festivals and events happen here, including the High Water Festival, Riverfront Revival, Charleston Beer Fest, and High Tide Festival. If you love breweries, then two of the most popular ones in all of Charleston are only a short drive away: Firefly Distillery and Holy City Brewing. Park Circle is also a short drive to Tanger Outlets, which is a huge outdoor mall. This is one of the few malls that's retained that late 90s, early 2000s charm and is a hot spot if you still love to shop instead of getting Amazon deliveries. Park Circle has a ton to offer for young professionals because North Charleston has become a hub for major employers. Its convenient location makes it a breeze to get to any other fun places like downtown Charleston or Shem Creek as well. And speaking of Shem Creek, this is another great place to live for young professionals or those who want a fun nightlife. It's located in South Mount Pleasant, just south of Coleman Boulevard. This is a great place because there's always something going on at Shem Creek, and if you get tired of going to the bars there, you're only a 10-minute drive to downtown Charleston. The bars at Shem Creek are usually always packed though, especially on the weekends. There are great food options too here. There's also a boardwalk that takes you to the marshes, and it's a great place for you to go on walks, and it's here where you can get some of the best views of sunsets over the Ravenel Bridge. Shem Creek has a boat launch, so if you like to kayak, it's a great place to explore, and if you go at the right time, usually early morning or right before sunset, you could kayak with dolphins. It's pretty cool to watch. I've seen people actually do that very thing from the balcony of Red's Ice House. Pitt Street Bridge is in this area too, and it used to be the main roadway between Sullivan's Island and Mount Pleasant. Pleasant. It's another hotspot for photography, sunsets, and history. If you like to shop, then you'll love living in Shem Creek. There are 5 different shopping centers and plazas less than 10 minutes away. The Mount Pleasant Town Center is one of the nicest outdoor malls in the city and has a ton of different stores. The only downside to living here is that it can be hard to find an affordable place to live. Like I mentioned earlier, South Mount Pleasant is one of the most sought after areas in all of Charleston. So after learning about all these different options, I'm sure you can see why many people are moving here. If I was moving here in 2025, then these are the places I would consider for families or young professionals. As always, I want to earn your business and be your resource for real estate here in Charleston. My contact information is always in the video description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the second part of this video.